Hello, and for the final time this season, we're doing an FPL review for Gameweek 38. We're looking back at the whole season, the whole shebang, and we're also going to look at a nice little website I've used this season called Foomni Analytics, and that looks back at previous decisions I've made, and let's look at it as a whole picture for the whole season, really. It will be nice to analyse all of that, but it's all done now. It's all out of our hands, and I have got my final rank, which we'll reveal at the end. But before we go into any of my FPL review, I have to give a shout out to FPL_pig on Instagram. The last few weeks, or at least the last second half of the season, he's been doing songs about each game week, and I just thought, this is a legendary guy, so I might as well share with you guys his song. So here it is for game week 38, and it doesn't sound good for Bamford owners because looks like he was one of them.
What a star, seeing Bamford benched, straight down the gutter. Never mind, managed to score a pen. Gameweek recovered, Edison pen save, Ola's worst nightmare. Dream come true for Mr. Teddy Bear, who went on to win the entire thing. Sadio Mane captain.
Yep, so Sadio Mane captain, what a king.
Captain, what a king. Will can't stop scoring. Leicester bottled their top four. Sergio Aguero said goodbye with a brace, and now the season is over. Now the season is over.
And that's it. The season is over. So, a little bit of context behind that. Obviously, I didn't have Bamford. I went with Antonio. He did get benched, so I was like, yes, come on, get in. Antonio's going to get bits. And then he didn't deliver. He delivered against West Brom. We should have captained him. But then against Southampton, we didn't captain him. But I just thought he would score. So we should have benched Antonio. But it is a shame. We did well to bench Fernandes. We did well to bench Watkins. We should have played Diaz. But I just thought Everton would score. But fair enough, DCL also blanked. So not a great week for strikers, really. But Bamford did, fair enough, come off the bench and score that penalty, as FPL Pig has mentioned. And it was just not a great game week, to be honest, for a lot of people. They would have been hoping for a massive green arrow. It was a green arrow for me, but it could have been a lot more. But I'll take what I got, which I'll reveal in just a second. But just to recap, they said that Edison made that penalty save against Everton, and that really did sting for the number one in the world going into that final day, Ola Ovde, the player from Denmark, the Liverpool fan. I say Denmark, I think I mean Norway. You just got to feel for him. I mean, to be honest, he needed to sort himself out. He was number one in the world, and going into the last game week, I guess he wanted to only take a -4, but he needed to sort out his goalkeeper, man. He had Forster and Meslier, both of which probably weren't going to play this week. And, you can say, oh, you thought Forster were going to play because McCarthy's played the last two. But Meslier, if Forster doesn't play, then you got to have a backup. Meslier, we knew, wasn't going to play because he wanted to give him a rest and he wanted to give Kiko Casilla a chance. So, yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare, really. But his opponent in the top three, and the player who was originally third going into this week, which was Teddy Bears United. That, of course, is managed by the very decent Michael Cooney. Michael Cooney from Ireland, I think. Yes, from Ireland. He is also a Liverpool fan, but basically, yeah, it's interesting. He only made 42 transfers, so it just shows sometimes when you stick with things, they can work. And he did exactly what I did this week, Captain Mane. That was a great green arrow for a lot of people. But crucially, instead of a 0-pointer from a goalkeeper, he had Edison with that penalty save. And you've got to feel for those Sigurdsson owners. It wasn't a good penalty, to be honest. But you got to feel for those people that owned Everton players as well this week. But I did well to sell Lucadinho at the right time. I had a feeling that game was going to be tough, and it was 5-0. and some Everton defenders going into minus points, including Mason Holgate -1, who actually turns out Teddy Bear United owned, but he did well to bench him this week. And moving on, he had Vladimir Kufau. So as well as that 12-pointer from Edison after the penalty save, he had Vladimir Kufau with a double-digit haul. Amazing stuff. Trent got the clean sheet at least, even if he did get booked. And he got Rafinha's assist, he got Salah's assist, and of course he captained Mane for those 2 goals and 3 bonus points. And of course, vice-captained Harry Kane. So he really couldn't have had much of a better team. 88 points this week, with the highest score being from, I don't know how I'm going to pronounce this, but it's Jack Williams, Bami Bangs. Basically, I think it's Aubameyang, but he doesn't actually own Aubameyang. Instead, it's another Arsenal man, and he triple captained Nicola Pepe. I mean, who does that? Pepe's had an awful season, but he's ended the season strong, to be fair. Scored a brace versus Brighton, another 3 bonus points, fair enough. And 8 points for Alisson as well. He got a bonus point, cheeky stuff in there as well, rewarding him from that goal a few weeks ago against West Brom. But yeah, it's absolute, gutting for Ola Hovde. He seemed like a really nice guy, nice professional, and he would have been so stressed out going into the final day. But he unfortunately didn't win overall, and it was, as I said, Teddy Bears United, Michael Cooney, fair play from Ireland, Michael Coon. Second, Mohamed Abdallah. He was pretty consistent all season, so fair enough for the second. Just 5 points away from Teddy Bears United. And then you're thinking, oh dear, where's Ola Hovde gone? He had an absolute mare, 53 points, and down to 10th. Unlucky, mate. Rhett Ilama had a great season, but not this time. Gylfi Pledgers, unlikely, and ironically, Gylfi Sigurdsson misses a penalty, which really does condemn, Rhett Ilama and favours Teddy Bears United. But Gylfi Pledgers went up with another great score, 75 points. Victor Johansson, you've got to give him a shout out. 94 points this week. He really couldn't have done a lot more to get close to that top 2, but he had a great week. Gareth Bale, 13 points, 7 from holding, and of course that goal from Willock. So yeah, it's been a great week for a lot of people. It's been a great week for me. Let's get to me. I scored this week 70 points. Thank you very much. I mean, we mentioned how, obviously with Bamford being benched, I think that was going to be a bit of a problem for a lot of people. But he did come on and score, so that's got a lot of people with a green arrow. But Ollie Watkins, we decided to bench, and, it was feeling like a game we needed to win. It was a week we needed to recover from previous red arrows, but we did get the green arrow last week, and we just wanted it really this week to all go right. So fair play. But Sadio Mane was one of the reasons that it went so right. It wasn't great in other aspects, but Sadio Mane, we called it. We said Mane always scores versus Crystal Palace, and he's done it again. What a legend. By the way, Willock, what a player. He just can't stop scoring for them. Unbelievable. Leicester bottling the top 4. I mean, unbelievable. And Aguero, it had to be done. It was written in the stars for him to get a great goodbye send-off with 2 goals, just as he did on his debut. 2 goals against Swansea back in 2012. So, yeah, the season is over, people. And FPL is over, but I think we've ended it with a bang. We scored 70 points. So with the -4 hit, that was, of course, a net score of 66. But let's go through now, player by player, to see how we got on. Now, goalkeeper, right? In my FPL preview, I did actually say Martinez was in goal. And I probably should have stuck with that. But we were just jumping up about, we saw the fixture and we thought, Aston Villa or Chelsea? Which one is more likely to keep a clean sheet? Well, Chelsea's got the best defence, one of the best defences in the league. So we went with Mendy. But it is what it is. Mendy, so unlucky, got injured by colliding with the post. That just sums up my luck. 1 point, only plays 45 minutes, concedes in the first half. And then Martinez on the bench has a great game, makes some great saves. At least he did, of course, concede, so I didn't miss out on too much because he was on for getting bonus points, I think, if he'd have kept a clean sheet. But turns out he got a yellow card as well to go on top of that. So just the 3 points I missed out on after some very good saves, 6 in total for 2 extra points. So we've only missed out on 2 points, really, in terms of what we've lost on. But still, Mendy has been all right this season. 1 point on the final day, not great, but it won't make a massive difference. In the defence, 5 from Trent Alexander-Arnold. We don't mind it. Clean sheet, thank you very much. Yellow card's a little bit annoying, but Trent has had such a good end to the season, so we will forgive him for that one. I'm actually really happy with my Gameweek rank, can I just say? Because Gameweek ranks are really hard to get good ones. And there was a lot of people that got 50, 60 points this week. But if you're creeping into the 70 points, then you've had a good week. And that's exactly what I got, 70. So my Gameweek rank was 455,714. We always like it when it's in the top 1 million. And we always like it when our rank is in the top million, because we hadn't got a rank like that previously. Our best was in 1718. And it was, I forget now, but something like 1,027,000 and something like that. I think in a previous FPL preview or review, I'd said all my ranks from previous seasons. So go back, check back on my FPL playlist of the season. Rewatch them all. Why not? There's nothing else to do other than watch the Euros. So I will obviously say it at some point there. But delighted with this rank that I'm about to end with the video, because it is my best ever FPL manager rank. So yeah, very good Gameweek rank, 455,714. And we move on to Stuart Dallas, 2-pointer, not great. We went for the Leeds double up. The Liverpool double up worked. We got the clean sheet there, lovely stuff. Phillips finally get me some points when I actually play him. But Dallas, unfortunate stuff. He's had a great season, so we got to let him off. And we got to excuse him with that one, because he just couldn't quite get the attacking returns. But it is what it is with Dallas. He only scores against the big teams, it seems. And yeah, it is a shame to not see that clean sheet right at the end. But, that's the nature of FPL sometimes. You got to just take it as it goes. Next up, Nathaniel Phillips. Thank you very much. 6 points. We said that Palace game may be a better chance of a clean sheet than the Burnley game. Unfortunate for us that it has to be Burnley not scoring in that game and Phillips scoring a goal, his first in the Premier League. And that's the week we bench him. But we'll take the clean sheet, to be honest. That's solid stuff. We're very happy with that. Alioski, 2 points. We bring him in this week, trying to have that impact transfer. We thought he'd score. He's a very attacking player, Ezcan Alioski from North Macedonia. He's very much going to be an interesting player to watch at this summer's Euros. But yeah, I don't know what happened. He just didn't do anything, and that's a bit disappointing, to be honest. At the end of the day, he just didn't have that impact. But, we'll take it on the chin. We'll move on. It is what it is, and yeah, it's a shame, but I'll forgive him. It's just no impact from the transfer. But at least, of course, as we mentioned before, selling Luca Digne went very, very, very well indeed. So all in all, it was a bit of a nightmare. Well, you can say that, but I think it was. Other than Sadio Mane, it could have gone a lot better, but we'll still take 70 points, of course. Still very happy with that Gameweek score. It's pretty solid stuff. And yeah, I think it's actually more than Ola Hovde and the number 2 this week. So yeah, we've done well there. We've actually surpassed some of the best players in the whole league of the overall standings. So moving on swiftly. We did, we got more than number 2. That's not actually correct. He scored 75, and that was without a hit, so fair enough, Mohamed there. But no, we at least got more than Ola Hovde, but he did have a bit of a nightmare, to be fair. We did, let's see who else did well that we scored more than. 94 for Guilty Pleasures, didn't take a hit, fair enough. That is impressive. 75 for Hemson, didn't take a hit. I mean, barely anyone at this point took a hit, and a lot of people had saved up 2 free transfers for this final week, a thing that I was really considering doing, but turns out the way we went for it, we just thought, actually, tell you what, we'll just go for the transfer in Game Week 37, and we went for it. We brought in a bit of Jack Harrison, and then, of course, he did nothing against Southampton, so it's unlucky, but it is probably, in hindsight, what I should have done. But yeah, 70 points, still very, very good, and we will take that all day long. So it was, in fact, more points than the player in 8th spot. Well, I say this, but you got to take the minus 8 into consideration. So I actually don't think there's a better player that I've done better than this week in terms of the overall net points than Ola Hovde. So anyway, Hovde was really good this season, so I'll take that. Even if he did have a little bit of a nightmare. But anyway, back to my team. It still was a very good week, and at the end of the day, 2 points from Alioski is a shame, especially when you double up on that Leeds defence to not see at least one of attacking returns from Dallas or Alioski and one, or both of them, clean sheets. But we move on. Then Jack Harrison. He was the transfer that really frustrated last week. I thought he'd do something against Southampton, but not to be. And then this week, a lot of people were eyeing him up. We had him, didn't need to transfer him in. We already had him for that great fixture versus West Brom. He didn't exactly, spark the world of light. Didn't absolutely blow things up, but he did at least get some return and assist. And it was a little bit lucky, to be honest. The penalty was a handball, and it was the cross in from Harrison that led to the penalty. But at the end of the day, it's a return. We'll take the 5 points, and we'll move on, to be honest. But Jack Harrison, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So fair play for that move, but I am fuming still about Edouard Mendy, to be honest. I mean, how did he go off injured? That's just so unlucky. But moving on swiftly, to not see that clean sheet, of course, is a shame for Leeds, but I will be happy about Liverpool because we got the clean sheet there, and then Sadio Mane, what an absolute legend. He gets himself 32 points as the captain. That is a brilliant captaincy, and as I mentioned, a lot of people that did well this week either had Mane or captained him, and I was just thinking, if you're going to take a hit on the final day, you might as well captain one of those players you bring in, and that was Sadio Mane. So I was just praying for a Salah blank, and I was praying for a Calvert-Lewin blank and all that stuff, and it came for Calvert-Lewin, but it didn't unfortunately come for Salah. Only an assist though, so in theory for all those people that captained Salah, captaining Mane was so much better. So I was absolutely loving life when I saw Sadio Mane get 2 goals. Like I said, he always scores versus Palace, and there's something about him in the final day of the season. He does often do well there, and he actually did get a brace. I think it was on this final day of the season before that, when Liverpool knew that they were in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but they had the chance to win the league, and then they were won it, Man City at Brighton. So I think that was maybe the season before that, when Liverpool didn't win the league. But yeah, Mane is very good on the final day, so that was a great transfer in to replace the very much sloppy and out of form, it seemed, Son Heung-min. But of course, when I sell him, he goes and gets an assist. So Spurs had a great game at Leicester, and they were clinical. But Sadio Mane, you will never be forgotten for that brilliant captaincy. What a way to end the season! Bang, bang, bang! 32 points. Thank you, Sadio, the Senegalese legend. Moving on, we should have got Willock, by the way, to have Harrison instead. Basically, game week 37, when I got Harrison in, I was thinking, Harrison Willock. And Willock was such good form, but I know he faces Sheffield United, but I just thought Newcastle players not appealing. It's not, a good asset, but should have gone with it, man, because he got 11 points against Sheffield United, and then another great haul against Fulham, and Harrison only got an assist in one of the games. So yeah, I should have gone with him, but it's at least something from Harrison this week. Where's the bonuses at though for him? I'm looking for them, I'm searching for them, but I can't find them. At least though, we did get some points elsewhere in that midfield. When I say elsewhere, I mean a clean sheet for Jesse Lingard, which is really not enough, but 3 points for the player in midfield, Jay Lings. He really has been a great FPL player in this time that I've owned him, but the season just kind of petered out a little bit. It is what it is. West Ham had other players that were scoring goals on that final day. James Ward-Prowse, we played him because we thought we might use him and he might come in handy. Ultimately, we should have probably played Diaz over Ward-Prowse, but it is what it is. We'll move on. We'll keep on pushing. I wasn't going to not play Antonio. I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, well, Antonio did awful this week, you shouldn't have played him. But that's only using hindsight. In hindsight, yeah, I should have benched Antonio for Diaz. But Ward-Prowse I was playing this week because I didn't play him last week when he had that game against Leeds, because I thought that Harrison would do better. He did do better, just by a point. But this week I thought that both Harrison and Ward-Prowse would be good players to own, and shame to see Ward-Prowse blanking, but fair play Southampton. They were just off the boil. So you just got to say, defensively, they've had an awful 2021. Let's hope things are up for them next season for a Southampton fan point of view for them. But no, as a Watford fan, I'm hoping Watford get many wins against Southampton. But Ward-Prowse not quite doing it on the final day. We don't mind it. 2 points is what it is. Kane is up next, and this guy, what a legend, wins the Golden Boot. Thank you very much, Harry. I mean, you really, really can't complain with that. He, of course, is very solid this season, and he's been a great FPL asset to own. And he wins the Golden Boot. 10 points, lovely goal, and he wasn't that switched on, to be fair, against Leicester. He did look like it was his final game for Spurs. I don't know if he's going to stay, could still stay, if Spurs just don't let him go, but he just wasn't quite in it, the game. He didn't look really up for it, but he did still get a goal and an assist, so that just shows what Kane can do when he's not really trying. No, but fair enough. The goal fell to him kindly, and it was a great finish. Just instinctive from Harry Kane on the volley. Didn't have to do a lot to get there, but he just hit it so hard through the legs of Schmeichel. And then the assist as well for that goal. Controversial perhaps, but, you know, it wasn't given for the handball. I guess I understand why, because it didn't seem to be in the same phase of play, and, you know, Leicester could have defended it a lot later on after that handball, but still controversial. And he did, of course, pull it back for Gareth Bale to absolutely break Leicester City hearts, and they've bottled it once again, 2 seasons in a row to not get Champions League. They will be gutted, but let's see what they can do in the Europa League. But yeah, you got to love that from Harry Kane. A bonus point to go along with it, and a 10-point haul on the final day. He's probably been the best FPL asset this season, let's be honest, along with people like Salah and Son. I think Kane has just been so consistent, and that's why he's got the Golden Boot. Then Harry Kane is partnered by Michail Antonio. And Antonio, yeah, it's frustrating. It's a shame to not see him get that return on the final day, but it is what it is. He just didn't quite get in the game, and didn't quite have enough chances to get it in the back of the net, but it's a blank for the striker. So Ruben Dias, we mentioned, the clean sheet on the bench, it really does sting, but that is the way it goes. And let's now look at our bench. 1 point was what Mendy got, which is just a joke, but 3 from Martinez, 2 from Watkins, nothing from Fernandes. We called that benching, that's why we benched him ourselves. And then, of course, the pain of the final third substitution. It always seems to be the player on the bench with the most points. Ruben Dias this week. Not an absolute haul to miss out on, but 5 points, clean sheet. Did get a yellow card at least, which, you know, takes away the pain a little bit, but still a bit of a shame to miss out on the clean sheet. So, yeah, ultimately, that is my game week. 70 points. Don't mind it at all. And how are we looking for overall points, and then I'll do overall rank. So it's overall points, 2,326. Thank you very much. I'll take that. Overall rank is what you've been waiting for, and it was 267,782. We said at the start of the season, we'll take 600k. And what have we done? We've absolutely smashed it. But we were also looking, the last few game weeks of the season, to reach that 250k, but we couldn't quite do it. We've fallen short, which is a shame. And, you know, this game week, it could have been a lot better. When you look at Mendy, when you look at Alioski, when you look at Lingard and Antonio, there's these players that had the potential to get big hauls, but they didn't quite do it. So it was Mane, really, and Kane that were just pulling the rest of the team forward. But it's still a decent score. It's still a great game week. And it's still a lovely green arrow. So I'm delighted with that rank, to be honest. I really can't complain. It's been a great season for me. And, you know, previous seasons, I just haven't taken FPL seriously. But we've actually, you know, properly gone for it this season. And we've got the rewards. So I'm absolutely loving that. Yes, we were aiming for 250k. And it was frustrating. I saw on live FPL my rank. And then it was like pre-auto subs and post-auto subs. Pre-auto subs, we were looking at 256, 257k, and it was like, oh my days, we've just fallen short. But actually, it was a little bit of a gap, and despite the really good arrow of 3,789k, when I say 3,789k, I mean 3,789. So I've just completely, or maybe it is, I don't know. Basically, I need to work out the difference between 305,700 and, or no, yeah, 305,771, and I've really just confused myself here, and also 267,782, because that's what we ended on. So the difference between that is 37,989. Really? Oh, this is getting confusing, man. I've actually confuddled myself. Right, let me just fact check this because we don't want to get it wrong. The final game week of the season. Right, 305,771 minus 267,782. It's 379,89. Right, 379,89. Oh, I missed out something. So actually, it's 37k. So 37,909 by a green arrow. So we'll take that. Lovely stuff. And as I mentioned, the overall rank there. So it's still my best ever rank as an FPL manager. After just below 1 million in that 17-18 season. But yeah, it's a shame to not hit our goal. But we go again next season, and we've had a great one. So we smash our previous target. As I said, 600k. But it's a great season, and it's been very difficult circumstances, obviously, with no fans for most of it. COVID, injuries, leaks of teams. There's been so much going on, so many crazy scorelines, and it's so hard to predict this season how points have been distributed, but we've done very well, regardless of all of that. So I'm giving myself a pat on the back for that, really. A shame to not boss this individual game week. The head-to-head didn't quite work this week, but it is still a great game week, still a great season overall, and shame to not hit 250k, but next season we'll set ourselves another goal of rank and try and win those mini leagues, and that's probably the more important thing, the mini leagues, and we won 4 of those of our mini leagues, so I'm very happy with that, to finish first. It was just is what it is sort of thing, don't mind it, but I'm glad it's over, to be honest. It's been a stressful season, but it's also been a rewarding season, a crazy season, injuries, shocks, but we've impressed. So I'll see you next season. Thanks for watching my FPL review of the season. And before we leave, I'll just leave you with a little bit of Foomni analytics, and we'll just recap some of our signings and transfer decisions and all that stuff. So let me just get to that, and then we will be off and going. So here we go. So basically this season it's been what's going on here? Foomni Analytics is having a mare here. Jeez. Okay. My decisions. Here we go. Oh, what's going on? All right, I need to log out of this because it's not actually allowing me to do it. If I log out and then log back in, I think it should work now. Yep, here we go. Bear with, people, bear with. Right, let's be having ya. So, the funny thing is they say transfer suggestions, and they said bring in Shaw this week. Great one. No, let's evaluate my decisions once I've got from the dashboard. So, looking across the season, so stat leaders, yeah, we know Kane won the Golden Boot, that's fine. Where is it gone? I'm just trying to find it now. Right. Yeah, here it is, people. Bear with, just loading now. My decisions, right. Let's see how successful my decisions have been this season. Why is it not working then? Come on now, this is getting ridiculous. Nah, what's going on here? I'm not having this. Right, I think I just need to retype the website because it seems to not be working. Foomni Analytics. Right. Log in. Right. The players that disappointed, you've got Wood, Watkins, Antonio. They met expectations or even exceeded those expectations. Robertson, Alisson, Mane. Absolutely came out of nowhere. Nicolas Pepe, Fernandinho, Pablo Fornals. And the top goal threat, Kevin De Bruyne and Son Heung-min. A lot of people transferred out Calvert-Lewin, to be fair. Some people transferred out Son, and, that's one of me. Willock brought in, Mane brought in, Harrison brought in. But looking back at my thing that I wanted to look at, which was my decisions, I'm not sure why it's not letting me. Can I just log into this, please? Like, this is actually a joke. Right, let's just log back in, please. Right, what's going on? If I go to dashboard, maybe I should be able to do it here. What is going on? Click here. Oh, here we go. Right, 179827. Oh, we might have just exposed our FPL ID. That's fine. You can just look at my team on live FPL. We haven't told you my password, so it's chill. You're not going to hack into my team. That's fine. Right, we're in hat. We've logged in. We've logged in. Right, we should be able to get it now. This is a joke. Why is it not? It literally had all the stuff for it, and now it's just not allowing it. What a joke. Right, Foomni Analytics. I'm not happy with that. That is sloppy stuff. Outrageous. All right, I will leave you there. I'm sure you're probably thinking, that's enough of that. And it is. So see you next season for FPL. Bye-bye.